All right, so I was gonna record this intro with me doing like my pre-lift walk, but it is despicably hot right now. Like, I have no idea how I used to train in this garage. I think it was like for almost a year I was training out of here. No wonder I used to drop all my deadlifts. No wonder I used to like crave electrolytes. I have to take like 2 element every single time I train. But yeah, it's hot. So I was gonna hit the bike here. It's a pretty good alternative, and honestly, it's even better in terms of like warming up the quads and stuff like that. But today we have bench. This is not my setting. Today we have bench. I hit a bench world record, as I said in my last video, and I realized that I barely ever show like my bench only days, just because to me bench is kind of boring, you know. It's probably the least exciting lift, and I much rather film some deadlift and squat. But yeah, I'm gonna show you guys my primary bench session. This is the session that has done the bulk majority of the week to take me from like a high 400s bench to almost 600 now. And I haven't really changed too much about it, maybe the intensity here and there. But yeah, week 3, main bench, 2 minutes on the bike. Then we're gonna start to warm up the upper body. All right, so that was the second to last warm up. I'll probably just take 205 or 452, and then the plan is a top double at 518. My pecs feel a little bit sore, but nothing too crazy. Just as an update on my like hip and back and everything like that, I actually had a really good deadlift session last session, which was Friday. So I kind of like throw back to that because I had a couple of clips from that. top set is 518 for a double. This is still like a good ways off my PR. This is 235 keys and my PR double is 250 keys. But the goal here is just to, feel something heavy and prep me for next week. Next week, the plan is still not to like PR or anything like that. Like I realized, especially going into this bench only competition that I did, I don't need to do like a crazy bench PR in training in order to have that translate over to a big bench on the platform. Because going into bench press and APF, I was genuinely like worried because I think the heaviest bench I hit was 255, which is 562, and it didn't really move the best or anything. But then, that week leading into competition with the taper and everything like that, I was able to do 266 and have it move easier than the 255 in training, So bench, I don't think I need too much. So the goal next week might just be to go up like, maybe like 10 keys on this and then just like ride it from there because I need to bench 600. If not at nationals, because we're 8 weeks out right now. If not at nationals, then the meet after that, which, God willing, everything goes well, will be the World Championships. I also have something else I want to talk about, but I'll talk about it after the set. I'm resting too long. Top set. Alright, so as you guys can see, this bench day is actually super simple as far as like programming wise. I do have like a fatigue drop in there, and I'll explain that if you guys don't know what a fatigue drop is. But essentially, the general structure is just simply a top set followed by back downs at a particular percentage drop. And that percentage drop varies because obviously I don't want to like be pushing the top set like super hard and then be overly fatiguing myself on back downs. But right now, I believe it's a 12% drop from the top set. So top set was 235 keys, and then these back downs are at 207.5 keys. I think that's like 12%. So yeah, super simple. And then I have a fatigue drop in there where like if these back downs get too hard, let's say they cross like a certain RP threshold, then I will take a further drop, which I believe is anywhere from like 6 to 8%, and just finish out like the remaining sets on the back downs. And I have 4 sets here. So super simple, designed to manage fatigue while also pushing intensity. And I believe the real magic in this bench day is in the accessories and how I go about pushing those. But I have about 3 minutes until my next set. I have 2 more back downs. The thing that I said I wanted to talk about was, what's the most like frustrating part of me getting injured and like missing these meets and everything like that? Like missing the meets in and of themselves was like bad enough, but the most frustrating part is like the comments and like social media. And like, don't get me wrong, like most people like, super supportive and like understanding and everything like that. But you have those people where it's like they say things where they just simply look at things on like a surface level perspective, So it's like I think one of the top comments on my last video was like, "Oh, like Bob is catching up to you. I hope you could put together like a good performance, like in nationals next year or whatever." And obviously, like some people respond, and some people like actually, like know that like, oh, okay, like my top end strength is actually here, and I just didn't have an opportunity to do a meet and everything like that. But it's just like the reason why it's frustrating is not because the comments themselves, but it's because like what could I say? Like, am I gonna like get nitty gritty and be like, oh no, but and just like cope? It's like I'm not that type of person. I would just take that and like let that be what it is. You have your own opinion, and then when I do have my opportunity, when I do have my like time to shine, and I do what I know that I'm capable of, and I'm shown that I'm capable of, that's when I'll address all that. Like I don't have my phone with me, but I have a folder on my phone, which I might delete, but I have it called Discipline and Motivation. And every time I see like a comment or a story or something where like somebody is like genuinely like saying like, oh, this person is better than me, or some like slick comment about like some other athlete or something like that, I screenshot it and put it in the folder. And I don't really look at it because I kind of got into a place where like like using negativity for motivation is cool. And I was actually talking to one of my clients about this, but using negativity for motivation and everything like that is cool, but it's very fickle, because you could have like a negative reason for doing something, and it might be, oh, like I want to destroy this particular athlete, or I want to show people like how, like who I am, or I want to do this, or I want to do that, or I want to get back at this person for what they said, or whatever. And while that's cool and is good for like a moment, that wanes, and that also gives other people control over you. So if, for example, let's say, you broke up, like a girl broke up with you, you got cheated on, for example, right? And you go to the gym to get back at her. That's cool and all, and it's a good initial like spark. But after a while, it's like, you need to do things just simply because you want to uncover your own potential, and because you want to be as good as you possibly could be, and you want to just simply reach what you consider to be your limit or what you're capable of, and it needs to be from a genuine reason, because in the times when it's just simply you watching and it's time to eat that rice and ground beef for the 50th time in a row, or it's time to cook when you came home late, or you could easily like order food, or you could not hit your steps, or you could skip a workout, which is crazy. I don't even mention that, because powerlifters will skip workouts, right? Or you could skip your accessories, right? Or something like that. That negative energy doesn't fuel you then, because in the moment, in that small little section of time, that small one session where you skip accessories, or that small little section where you order food instead of cooking, to meet the exact macros or whatever, nobody notices the person you're doing it for, to get back at. They're not gonna know, So when you're doing it for yourself, you know everything that you do. So in the times when nobody else is watching and you are watching, if you're doing it for you, then you're gonna stay on track, So that's kind of the place where I got to be honest. It's a lot more like peaceful. But that being said, right? That being said, I still have that folder, right? And next year, right? We are today. I think it's the last day of November. We have December, then we have January, where I will compete at nationals, and then we have the rest of the year. God's willing, I think 2026 is my year, finally, right? And that folder is gonna come out. I might do a video, maybe I might drop it on a podcast. Who knows, maybe I might do both. But all the comments, all the everything, all the whatever, though, But again, we're doing this for ourselves, but just know I see it, bruh. Alright, so we at the gym, and here's our rundown of the accessories that I am going to be doing and that I have been doing now for a while. I'm going to just run through these now because when I get into it, I just like to tunnel vision and just really focus on getting a pump, short rest, etc. But they are banded flat dumbbell press. And I think I mentioned this before, but I do these banded because it helps with just pec health, and then it also makes it a little bit more difficult at the top to really work on the triceps, which for me is a little bit of a weak point. I usually don't fail off the chest. Cable press arounds, again for pec health, but it's also a good exercise for bench in general. Rope tricep push downs, hammer strength rows, which is my horizontal row for the day, and then a vertical pull, which is wide grip pull downs. Then after that, I also have some rehab, which I will talk about after. But let's get started with the dumbbell press. Alright guys, so just finished up with this session. I didn't show the rehab work that I'm doing for the TFL just because I feel like it might be worth making like a whole separate video for just like how I deal with spondy and my TFL now, and just like rehab and injuries in general in powerlifting. Because I kid you not, I think I probably had like damn near 50 people message me over the last year or so, when I started talking about like spondy and stuff like that, saying like they have spondy or they have like something similar that they're dealing with that is like keeping them from lifting. So I don't know if I should make an entire video just like breaking down the framework of like how I approach injuries and different things like that. If you guys want, let me know. If not, I could probably just like tag it on to the end of my next video, because I think in my next video I'll probably like get back to squatting for real, maybe just like a top set and like 1 or 2 back downs. But some version of squatting I think I should be good enough to get back to, because I'm feeling good. The main thing, by the way, if there's dealing with a TFL injury, the main thing is a little bit of rest. Then I would say strengthen exercises, getting like massages or doing like self myofascial release in that like general area helps as well, but you don't want to overdo it with that. I would say do that like maybe twice a week, but also focus on the strengthening stuff. And a big key as well is not just direct strengthening for the TFL, but glute med strengthening. So things like hip adductors, and then just like leg raises where you have the leg in line. Again, I could break it down more, but that's just the basic stuff. I know some people said they were dealing with TFL injuries as well. That's kind of what has helped me get back to a point now where like I don't feel too bad. So yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the bench day. Again, this was week 3, so 1 more week to go. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace.